Hello. Is there anybody out there? Just smile if you can hear me. Is there anyone home? Welcome, everybody, to the Full Spin Club. My name is David Stewart. I am the host of this fun podcast where I bring comedian friends of mine to talk about the art of the full album. This week, we have Karl Spaeth talking about The Wall by Pink Floyd. Karl is a musician himself as well as a stand-up comedian. I will link his album in the bio, and make sure you check him out. This episode was super fun. We had a really fun time roasting the shit out of this album. It's something to behold. It was really easy to fall into roasting it, to be honest. It's like an amazing album, but at the same time, come on. It's too easy. But I will let you guys find that out. But for now, let's just tuck in and get ready for the episode. Welcome to the club.
Did you see the frightened ones? Just a newborn. Run to the bedroom and the suitcase on the left your I don't need no arms around me. Cruel world. Is there anybody out there? I got the obligatory Hendrix head. Does anybody else in here feel Is there anybody in there? What's the show go on? I wanna go home. Take off this uniform. The evidence before the court is in control.
Karl Spaeth,
I'm here.
welcome to the Full Spin Club.
Good to be here.
You're in the club.
I feel like I was already in the club because I made your logo.
That's true. You kind of did get grandfathered into the club. Half of your payment was me promising to do this with you.
Yeah. Wow. Great payment.
Good payment. I'm timely and
You did. You paid me right on time.
yeah,
Early.
Even a little early.
Which is right on time for a broke bitch.
So in the email, you were asked to come up with a one-word description of the album. So,
Oh, was I?
yeah. Yep. Come on, gang. Read the email.
I did read the email. I missed that part.
Oh, yeah. It's just, so The Wall by Pink Floyd is...
Bloated.
Agreed. I had a throwaway roast that that's not going to make it into the later section. Where I was like trying to compare it to the regional to Cincinnati food Geta, where it had some sustenance but was mostly oats and sawdust.
Right. You got to stretch it out
Yeah.
to feed the whole family.
Yeah, the Depression era food of albums.
Yeah, it's German slop. The British version of German slop food.
Which, if you've ever had British cuisine, is already just kind of slop.
Yeah, like minced meat pies and...
There's a really popular TikToker called Spudman, and it's a food truck, and he makes baked potatoes for people in England, and one of the favorite toppings is just beans.
That actually sounds awesome.
All right.
I'm not going to lie, I would eat the fuck out of that.
Beans on potatoes.
Yeah, dude. Sign me up, dude. I already eat beans on rice.
Yeah,
What's a different starch?
you're right. I had an
Damn right.
argument with an ex-girlfriend once where I was like, potatoes are the superior rice, and she was Indian, and she took large offense to that.
They eat potatoes too. They just call them aloo.
Yeah. She's wrong.
Yeah. Fuck her and her culture.
That's why I broke up with her.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
No, actually, she dumped me, unfortunately. Let's move on.
Sorry to hear that, buddy.
Let's move on.
Yeah, to Pink Floyd's The Wall.
So, for those who haven't tuned in, there are 4 segments to the show. There's On a Pedestal, which is where we talk about the things we liked. On a Spit, which is where we came up with 3 roasts for the album. On a Turntable, which is where you answer questions that I sent you ahead of time that you couldn't read because Apple hates formatting my emails.
I did look into it. Like, looked at it on my laptop finally.
Yeah.
So.
Was it formatted correctly?
Yeah, it was.
Thank God. And then finally, Record Scratch, which is where I come up with silly questions that are kind of like between 2 ferns that I just think are funny while I was listening to the album.
Yeah. So instead of between 2 ferns, it's on the other side of 4 shitty albums.
I'll defend Pinkerton.
I mean, that's the only one I've actually heard.
What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for watching this episode of the show. We're super happy you're here. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. But now a word from our sponsor this week is Square Root. It is a meal prep service for those who are very tired of other meal prep services named after math problems. What makes Square Root special and different is a box of genetically modified root vegetables sent straight to your door. Have you ever tried to cut a round turnip? It is impossible. Square Root has come through with a fantastic option for those of us who are tired of cutting ourselves by trying to cut oblong and strange-shaped root vegetables. Imagine. It is just a square carrot. It fits nicely on your cutting board. It is the best. So go ahead and click the link in the bio and get 10% off your first order through fullspinclub.com. Thanks, everybody, and let's get back to the show. So are you ready to get into our first section, On a Pedestal?
Sure.
All right. So, Carl, what was your first thing you loved about The Wall?
Okay. Nothing. No, I like the album. I didn't realize, I forgot how like ubiquitous it actually is in culture, where it's just like I don't think I had listened to it all the way through since probably high school, and I was still just like, oh yeah, I know like every single one of these songs.
Yeah.
Except for, half of it being complete
garbage.
I
know all 5 of the songs on this record.
Like obviously like Comfortably Numb is a great song.
Yes.
Goodbye Blue Sky, great song. Mother, great song. Like the simplest songs are the ones that are good.
Right.
Like the best ones. And then the production's like still like pretty modern sounding.
Yeah.
And there's like moments of it where it's just like, oh, like a lot of people have like even just like synth noises and like just like sampled audio and stuff.
Yeah.
Like found audio, I guess.
Sure.
It sounds like they like it's not actually found.
Yeah. What did they
made
sample? Chopper sounds when they're dropping bombs, etc.
But like still like it's just like pretty forward thinking in that aspect.
Yeah.
Of it. But compared to like early Pink Floyd, it's kind of dog shit.
Right. Yeah. I am a firm Wish You Were Here fan. That's like my favorite Pink Floyd record.
That's the one right before The Wall, isn't it?
I believe so. It was right after Dark Side of the Moon.
It's like Dark Side, Animals, Wish You Were Here, The Wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Roger Waters era, where he was being the most megalomaniacal.
Right. And truly peaked at The Wall. I think I make fun of him most.
Well, his
throughout.
last one's The Final Cut. And like that's like basically a solo album. Like more or less. Like the guys play on it. The rest of the guys play on it, but it's like
they're
all
around.
his writing and
similar
stuff.
to like the John Lennon, Paul McCartney.
He is a good songwriter. I'll get into like my takes on him as a musician when we roast it.
Yeah.
But like those albums are good. Wait, hold on. Or those songs are good. Oh wait. all 3 of the songs I mentioned are the 3 highlights
Okay,
that I
great.
said. But then, like, yeah, production
Yeah.
and, like, let's be honest, like David Gilmour, very good guitar player, very like an interesting interesting solos are like hard to kind of do, and he does mostly interesting solos.
That's my first one is like it's like David Gilmour fucking rocked when he definitely had no obligation to, because I know like him and Roger Waters were like starting to hate each other at this point.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I don't think he legit had like an obligation to make this record as rad as it was.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have if Roger Waters was yelling at me.
Yeah, he's like,
Like,
oh, you don't understand my story.
you don't get me story.
It's about me feeling lonely on stage.
Yeah, I'm lonely all the time.
Don't you see? Everybody hates me. Also, it's kind of about Sid Barrett, who he fucking kicked to the curb when he was depressed and going insane.
We had to get rid of him. He was dragging me down.
With his actual good songs. And whimsy. Very whimsical.
So
Sid
yeah,
Barrett.
if I was being ranted to in that way, I absolutely wouldn't be shredding guitar solos as rad as he was. So I was like, good for David Gilmour.
I read that Roger Waters told the producer that they brought in to like help out, like to help like streamline this like story, which whatever, I'll get into that later too.
Yeah.
That he told the guy like, I mean, you can help write it, but don't expect any credit. It's like, fuck you.
God damn.
Fuck off.
Fucking
private school little bitch.
Yeah, dude. My teachers were mean to me. I gotta wait to the roast. I gotta wait to the roast.
My teacher, leave those kids alone.
They didn't let me have my pudding. Oh my god.
Jello pudding pops.
What a precursor to
There's a British Cosby is what I just
British
did.
Cosby. You should put that one in your act.
You want to get randy?
Too late, you don't know, you already are.
Oh boy. Yikes. So David Gilmour's guitar playing for sure. We can agree on
rocks. My second one was Comfortably Numb as a song in general.
that. Rules.
Yeah, rules. So good.
You know what I like better than the album version of it though is the live one that Van Morrison sings. I legitimately like that version better. It rules.
Perfect. I love that like the band adamantly says that Comfortably Numb is not about heroin, and I'm like, yeah, just like Train Spotting is also not about heroin.
I mean, is it not?
Well, because like the
I
second
just thought it was
verse,
about like drugs in general.
yeah, but like the second verse kind of like is so on the nose. He's like, just a little pinprick, you'll feel no more pain, and I'm like, intravenous heroin is what that sounds like.
Like, no, it's just morphine.
Yeah, all right, my bad.
It's
Sorry,
not
I was
quite
too
heroin yet.
Yeah, sorry, I was too specific with my opiate. You're stifling my art. I meant all opiates.
Yeah, you fucking idiot. But that's like one of the only songs David Gilmour wrote by himself, I think.
Oh, David
too.
Gilmour wrote Comfortably
Yeah.
Numb? No wonder it fucking rocks.
Yeah. Because, like, then, like, there's like moments where I'm just like, oh, this rules. This must be a David Gilmour song. Just because Roger Waters has a tendency to get so fucking overblown with everything.
Yeah.
To the point where it's just like, my dude, edit.
Yeah. Yeah, just pare it down.
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself by talking shit already.
It's easy. There are albums that I've like where I'm like, this is hard to roast, and then like I have nothing but good things to say. This is one where I was like, super easy to roast, and like I'm having a hard time like gushing about anything. There's just things that I call like highlights versus like me just absolutely wanting to tear this album down.
The thing is not a bad album.
No,
it's not a bad, like by any stretch of the imagination. It's not a bad album if it's a single album.
Yeah,
if it wasn't a double album, like.
Yes.
It would be like a legitimately great album.
Yes. Yep. And
if it was like the length of Dark Side.
Yeah, I think it would have done a lot better if it were just
Yeah.
10 to 12 tracks tops.
And if there wasn't like a terrible movie. I
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
hate that
I
movie.
hate the movie.
That was my first introduction to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like as a kid, because it was on like a late night TV It was on like
okay.
Encore, which is like the free movie channel.
Yeah.
And I was like staying up late like on a weekend. And it was on. I was just like, oh, okay, I like weird shit, you know, like surreal shit. And then like I was watching, I was just like, this is just dumb.
Yeah.
Like, and there's like a fine line between like good surreal shit and dumb surreal shit, but like I was like, man, this is so fucking stupid.
I'm an artist. That's
It's
all
like
I hear.
it's just
yeah.
so on the nose.
Yeah.
Like sorry, getting ahead of myself again.
Let me rattle off my last good thing about this record.
Okay, we'll
and
see
then
if I agree with you.
It's the singles managed to fit into the narrative of the album without like sticking out like a sore thumb. They're like, we'll get into this a little later, but like when I like listen to records that are like meant to be narrative driven, you'll get to a point where I'm like, this is the radio hit, and it got shoehorned into the record, and I thought they did a pretty solid job of like making sure to have like commercially viable songs fit into the album at large. Nothing felt like it stuck out like a sore thumb, and I was like, that's, you know,
It seemed like they picked the singles after the album was done.
Yeah, which is good because like it's better than like today's modern like record label society where they're like, you need a radio hit and we don't really care what you're doing artistically.
I mean, that's always been the way.
Yeah, that's
like,
fair
for the most part.
Yeah,
you have to be like Radiohead or Pink Floyd level to like get away with being like, this is a concept album. Like, who fucking gives a shit? I promise you, nobody does.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Like,
except for nerds like me.
Like I love listening to albums front to back. Like I think that's the way music's best enjoyed. But
Right.
like narratively, like what is the actual narrative of The Wall? Like I know what it is, but it's like, does it matter to the enjoyment of the record? And I don't think it does.
I don't think so either. I think
But like, yeah, the singles do just stand alone as songs, even though like the riff from Another Brick in the Wall Part 3 like repeats throughout the album too.
Yeah.
But in a way that's like kind of well done.
Yeah, I mean, having a callback to like a central theme is always good.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I mean, and the singles are like the Pink Floyd singles.
Right. Like
too.
Comfortably Numb, Hey You, like
Yeah.
all the things that are
I do
rad.
like Hey You too.
Yeah, Hey You's good.
And that's like a good song to open the second disc on
Yeah.
too. It's like another thing that like listening to it on Spotify versus listening to it on vinyl or something. It's just like
Right.
It kind of loses a little something of like not changing.
Yeah.
You know, like the flow of it gets fucked up a little bit, I feel
Yeah.
like.
I'd agree.
Like how like most albums, like side one will end on a slow song and side two will begin on a jam or
Yeah, we
or
do-
vice versa.
We do kind of miss out on some of the intention of like track listings thanks
Yeah.
to Spotify.
When I would like make albums, and even this last one I put out, like that's like my favorite thing to do is like sequence.
Yeah, I feel similarly when I do stand up. One of my favorite activities is getting the sequence of jokes right. And
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and having like not just the sequence, but like the proper segues. Like it just flows really
Yeah.
nicely. It's something I think
It's
about
even
a lot.
more fun when you start doing longer sets. Like,
Yeah.
Where it's just like, okay, now because it takes a little bit to figure out like a feature set flow, and then once you
Right.
do, you're just like, okay, this is like a set now.
Yeah.
Feels like a whole thing.
Yeah, that's something I'm excited to grow into as
Yeah.
a comic. Is like singular topic that lasts the entire arc of your set,
Yeah,
but has like branches. you
Yeah.
know? So,
for sure.
all right, Carl, you
I'm sure
ready?
you'll get there one day.
Thank you for that vote of confidence.
Yep. Are you ready to roast this fucker?
Oh yeah, let's get this. Let's get this thing on a spit. I'm ready now. Let's do it.
All right, you go first.
All right, my
I
first
don't know why I'm
one.
like taking over hosting.
All right, my first one is, "Aw, you're a creative type in a post-industrial capitalistic society. Aw, society generally undervalues you because you don't conform to the idea of making billionaires money. Aw, join the fucking club, Roger Waters. Fuck, you are not
you,
special.
You millionaire.
Yeah, you
You fucking millionaire.
Yeah, all right. Get me the fuck out of here. He's like, nobody likes me because I'm special and different. Get the fuck out of here.
I knew this girl that went to Coachella one year when Roger Waters was playing like something. He did a set there.
Yeah.
And this girl's like stupid and annoying.
Sure.
She goes to Coachella and hang out with a DJ. Ends up at a Mexican restaurant for like somebody's birthday dinner. Ends up being Roger Waters' birthday dinner. I'm like, oh, that's wild. How was he? And she was like, he was really nice, but I didn't care for the music. And I was like, I feel like that's the opposite of everybody else's opinion on Roger Waters.
Right. Yeah.
Like, his music's great, but he's a fucking dick.
This guy's a douchebag. Yeah. That's wild. That is the utter opposite of what everyone thinks of Roger Waters.
It's like, that's crazy. Here's what I'm at. Do you just want? Are we going back and forth?
Yeah, we're going back and forth.
All right. Like I already said, it doesn't need to be a double album.
Yep.
There's so much filler in this wall. It's less brick and more grout. It's so dumb.
It's the utter opposite of the album from Sum 41. It is all filler, no killer.
Yeah, like Sum 41 had any killer tracks.
Hey.
Glad that guy's dead if he's dead. I don't know if he is.
I don't know which one. Not the lead singer. He's alive.
No, I don't know. Maybe none of them are dead. I thought the lead singer died.
I'm glad I thought he was dead. Karl Spaeth.
That was my first one. It's the dumbest joke I ever wrote in my life.
Thank you for bringing it here.
You're welcome. The next one's also bad.
Okay.
It's your turn, though.
Oh, it is my turn.
God, who's hosting this fucking shit?
I did have an aside to my first roast. This isn't the official second one, but the aside is it's
You didn't do the aside when you were doing the fucking joke?
Stop.
Okay.
All right. It's hilariously theater kid of them to write a play in stage production about not feeling valued as a playwright. It's like when stand-ups write movies about how hard it is to do stand-up.
Yeah.
I'll show them. I'll write a play.
This 2-hour-long album wasn't enough.
I'll make a movie, a theater show.
We'll play behind a big old wall.
That'll show them not to pay me millions more dollars.
All right. Here's the next one. Roger Waters' voice, to me, at times, is so shrill. Like, when he goes for high notes, it makes me want to blitzkrieg England. Really embrace my German heritage and bomb the fuck out of England. Because I hate it so much.
Yeah, when he gets up there in his register, it's trash.
Do it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't hit those notes, and that's why he lip syncs live.
But
That's just a fact.
that's just a fact. All right. I'm going to go for it now.
All right.
This one's a headline for an article that I did not write.
Okay.
It's just a fake headline. Ready? Released in 1979, this precursor to David Foster Wallace's Infinite Jest takes a deep dive into the question, why do therapy when rock opera do trick?
Have you read a headline before? That's so long for a headline.
Oh my gosh.
That's a thesis statement.
Well, fine. let me try it again. I'm going to try it again. It's all right.
Yeah,
This is my thesis statement to an essay I didn't write. Released in 1979, this precursor to David Foster Wallace's Infinite Jest takes a deep dive into the question, why do therapy when rock opera do trick?
I don't think I get it.
Oh,
when rock opera does the trick.
Yeah.
Okay, that's so you're doing. I get it now.
Yeah.
I thought you were doing slang of some
No,
sort.
no. I'm trying to match the dumbness with which how I feel that he chose to sink 40 years of his life into this instead of talking to someone out about it for an hour.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Could wrap this up in a couple of sessions.
Yeah. You know what else you could have done instead of writing this album is just quit music. If it makes you feel so alienated, just quit.
He's like, this thing I'm cursed to do.
People need to my genius won't let me quit. Never heard him talk in my life, but I think my impression's
That's
pretty
actually
good.
pretty close. I listened to a few interviews. I think a year or two ago, I listened to him on Joe Rogan. What a journey.
Jeez, two fucking egomaniacs.
What a journey. That was when I formed the opinion that Roger Waters is like the artist version of Donald Trump. Like if Donald Trump chose to be an artist instead of a businessman, he would become Roger Waters.
Yeah. All David Gilmour was doing was playing guitar and singing. I was writing all the songs and the lyrics, and then the writing's more important than the fucking singing and the playing.
Let me shorten that for you. It's like, David Gilmour was writing songs and singing. It's like, I was busy winning. That's all you'd have to say.
I wrote great albums, wonderful albums.
Yeah. Good albums, sold millions and millions of copies.
Can we talk about the second to last track and how it's a rock opera, right? And it's all rock and roll songs that tell a story until the song The Trial, which is just a full-blown off-Broadway musical
vaudevillian
bullshit, fucking
nightmare.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Shithole, terrible fucking... That's your penultimate song on the album.
It's important for the people to hear.
It is such a bad song. So bad.
It's important to the narrative.
God, it sucks. I forgot that it existed, and then when it started playing, I listened to like half of it and I skipped it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, does it get better? And I was like, no. See the previous song title and stop.
That song reads like a Cirque du Soleil show. Like, have you ever seen a Cirque du Soleil show? It's just super vaudevillian and like really obnoxious, and that's the entire thing.
It's like
yeah,
Parisian circus. Yeah, like it's just like if it's like a Sondheim musical or something where it's just like Cats, but like Cats if it was written by dudes that like didn't do enough acid. Because people that call Pink Floyd a psychedelic band are fucking wrong. They were like maybe their first like 4 albums. Metal is their best album, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But like, God, I fucking hate that song. That's how much I hate it. I have nothing to say about it.
Yeah, now you're just mad.
Yeah. It just like, it pisses me off that song exists.
Yeah, the vibe in the room got so dark.
You see the lights flicker a little bit.
I'm like, I'm cold.
It just like makes me. I mean, and let's be honest. I've been in bands. I'm more of a Roger Waters than not.
I hate him because I am him.
I'm impossible to collaborate with. But one thing I will never do is write a goddamn song like The Trial.
Yeah, pass.
Yeah. I'm on trial. Like fucking rolling your R's, you fucking piece of shit.
God,
Roger,
yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
My last roast is pretty weak.
Okay.
But I like it. It was
Great start.
It was an interesting choice to make the intro to Comfortably Numb 18 tracks long.
I like that one.
Yeah. Cool choice. Cool creative choice.
Yeah. Long intro, but once it gets there, pretty good.
Yeah, pretty great.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right. Cool. I will now constantly question my own joke writing ability. The one I was most proud of is the one that you hated.
Well, let that be a lesson.
Yep. It always is. All right. Do you feel like it's roasted enough? Do you want to?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to move on to our on
Yeah.
a turntable section where the answer the questions that I sent you ahead of time.
Sure.
Yeah. First one. The Wall is a lot of people's quintessential album that showcases narrative. Has narrative become a lost art in albums, or does it feel like it's hacky at a certain point?
Okay. I don't think it's hacky. I think it's pretentious.
Okay.
And I don't think narratives become a lost art in albums. I think albums have become a lost art.
I agree. That's actually
Like Spotify streaming, like even going back to like Napster, just ruined the album for like the
Right.
average listener.
mm-hmm.
Like obviously there's like music dorks.
Right.
Like I mean I'm one that just like likes to listen to full albums.
Yeah.
But I think that's the lost art. I think what's hacky is how Roger Waters does
Yeah. Well,
concept albums.
let's mention the trial one more time and get it.
My nose is gonna start bleeding. Could I accidentally burn your house down out of
No.
rage? Nice house too.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's hacky. I think as much as it feels like it's not pulled off as thoroughly anymore. Like so, and you're gonna have opinions about this next sentence, but one of my favorite bands is My Chemical Romance,
Okay.
and they've dipped their toes in like narrative driven records. But
yeah, like
they-
what's that one? The Black Parade or whatever?
yeah, the Black Parade, and even the one before, like 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, is slightly like a concept album, but like they always fall apart. Like the lead singer who writes all of it always like starts out like with like this is gonna be a narrative, and like by 3/4 of the way in, they've definitely lost the plot and are just writing songs now. And so I don't think it's like pulled off as well. Like I know like Coheed and Cambria writes narrative driven records these days.
Yeah, for virgin losers.
Yeah, well, I mean, narrative nonetheless.
I think like I guess like 2 of the Blood Brothers albums were like narrative, like concept albums. But like I think I like them now. And I think my preferred way for a concept album is like there's an overarching theme more than a narrative. Or like maybe like there's like lyrical like callbacks and stuff,
Right.
but like and you know what the theme is, but like a story to the album is
That starts to get hacky. Yeah.
I just think maybe it goes back to just me hating musicals, but like I
Fair.
don't think it's the most effective way to tell a story because you're already trying to do more than one thing.
Yeah.
And like you can tell a story in a song, and that's hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
But to carry that story through a whole album, I think is like something a lot of people can't pull off
Yeah,
effectively.
I agree.
Case in point, The Wall by Pink Floyd.
I agree. I think that there are albums that I love that are not necessarily concept albums, but the album has a topic it wants to tackle,
Yeah.
and then each track is more of like a different angle at that same topic.
Yeah, where it's
And
like a book of short stories more than like
Right.
a full novel.
Yeah, and yeah, it's not hacky necessarily. It's just not done terribly well these days.
I agree. But I mean, most people aren't even writing full albums.
It's true.
Really. They aren't writing with an album in mind. They're writing like
A compilation of singles.
yeah. There's so many people that release all like 5 singles before they even have an album out.
Right.
It's like so bizarre to me.
Yeah, it is weird. I've made a mental note of that, but I haven't like said it out loud. I was like, why are there so many singles?
Yeah. Just like give me the album.
Yeah. What a bunch of nerds.
But it's because like the algorithm doesn't like that.
Oh,
The algorithm hates albums.
it's true. And like the art of the album is why I started this podcast, is because I
Yeah.
don't think people talk about it enough.
Hence the name, The Full Spin.
Heyo.
Wow, I just got that.
You know, fuck you, Carl. All right, I'm. We were having a good time.
I'm still having a good time. Next question.
Next question. This album has been Roger Waters' bread and butter for decades. He's added to the experience with a movie, a stage show, and all kinds of lore. Do you think that actually adds to the experience of the record, or at a certain point does it dilute it?
The album itself is already diluted.
Correct.
With so much fucking filler.
Yep.
The movie like I already said, sucks. I hate it.
Yeah.
The stage show I would never go see.
Oh God.
Like
yeah.
a play. Ugh.
The stage show
Like-
is one of those things that where the person who recommended it to me, I hated. And so I was like, well, that is obviously a piece of shit. I will
Yeah.
never go see this.
I mean, yeah, that was a point I was gonna make too. Is like Pink Floyd is like a band. I would put Radiohead in this category too. That's like interesting enough that uninteresting people think it makes them more interesting to like them.
Correct. I 100% agree. And then 99% of the time, those same people are completely missing the point of the record.
Yeah.
John Holmes was telling me a story where he was at a Pink Floyd show, and the guy is like yelling at there's like a guy next to him yelling at them, from the lawn of the venue. He's like, just shut up and play your music, because it was getting too political for him. And John Holmes, he's like, they are. like,
Yeah.
they're in the middle of a song, and he's yelling at him to shut up and just play the music.
Yeah. The first time you ever heard lyrics before in his
Yeah.
life.
He's like, what do you mean this is about fascism?
This guy keeps talking over all the guitar playing melodically. Melodically talking over everything. What the fuck?
Yeah. So, yeah, I would say a huge percentage of this fan base are idiots.
Yeah, I think it's like they're a band that you should hear because I like a lot of their stuff, but like it's a band that you should also probably outgrow at a certain point.
Yeah, I called them baby's first prog rock band.
Yeah,
And like some people
yeah, fucking listen to King Crimson instead. They're a better band.
and some people like just never outgrow their first.
Yeah.
They're like, this is it.
Yeah.
I've made it.
Yeah, and I put Radiohead in that same category of like,
Yeah.
this is like your first like weird band, even though they're so accessible.
Yeah, super accessible. But all right, last question.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's see if I have an answer.
Yeah. Given the time the world has had to sit with this album, do you think it aged well? Does it hold up nicely? Why or why not? It's been around for a while. It's been around since 79.
Mm-hmm. I was going to just meet you with total silence after I said, let's see if I have an answer. That was going to be
For
my
the bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just sit here and like really actively think like,
Yeah.
God.
But I was like, that is a waste of both of our time.
Yeah.
Repeat the question, please.
Given the time the world has had with this album, do you think it aged well? Does it hold up nicely, and why or why not?
I think the parts of it that are good hold up well.
Right.
I think it still sounds like remarkably modern, like production-wise.
Mhm.
The songs that are good on it are still very good, and people are still kind of ripping off a lot of what David Gilmour was playing.
Right.
There are like times where it gets dissonant in a way I feel like a lot of albums back then didn't, that were popular.
Okay.
So I think that holds up, but as a whole unit, I think like over half of it could be cut out. Like 75% of the album could be cut out, and then it would be like an absolute banger.
Absolutely. I agree.
So like it's just, it kind of holds up.
Right. It's just
like it's
so incredibly self-indulgent.
yeah, but
like,
that's also just prog rock in general is pretty self-indulgent. But I think it's like an album everybody should listen to at least once, probably.
Yeah.
I
That's
would
fair.
say like listen to Dark Side and Animals and
Yeah.
Wish You Were Here and Metal first.
Yeah.
Pipers at the Gates of Dawn, baby.
Anything like, Sid Barrett era, why not do that?
Pipers at the Gates of Dawn.
Oh, my bad.
It's their first album.
Honestly, I was introduced to them post Sid Barrett, so Dark Side of the Moon, like everyone was introduced to them.
You weren't introduced to them in 1967.
I wasn't around. What was it like back then, old man?
It's great.
Good.
You could fuck anything that moved.
Oh. Good. my answer to does it hold up? You kind of came at it from like a production angle. I came at it more of like a thematic angle, like the themes he's talking about. I think the themes he's talking about because like they are there. Like I know, like I absolutely tore him to shreds of being like, oh, like I feel lonely as an artist, and like that whole thing.
There's like some more political themes though too.
Yeah, I
still think are prescient.
Yeah, I made fun of it by saying therapy would handle a lot of the topics covered. But there's an entire population of people who resonate with this record who would 100% not go to therapy, and I think it's better that they have something validating these like feelings of theirs, of like weird loneliness and anything like that, than to not have it at all. And like those themes do hold up. Like it is difficult being a creative type in a world that seems to not value seems to value expression like less and less. Yeah. And like building emotional walls, internalizing generational trauma, like those are all like.
It's about an emotional wall.
Yup. What? You learn something new at the Full Spin Club every week. Even old men like Karl learn something new about their emotional walls.
The Berlin Wall. Well, with the marching hammers and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the marching hammers. His schoolhouse rock ass. I'm just a wall. Emotional wall.
Now that's a concept album I can get behind.
But yes, all of that does have value, but I think this one just like this album just kind of laments all of those things in a way that does not inspire growth. I think it inspires just like
navel gazing.
Yeah, navel gazing, sitting in it. Like I've pointed out the problem. That's enough. Like, and that's it.
Yeah, offers no solutions. Cause, I mean, Roger Waters just is like that. Yeah, like an insane narcissist isn't gonna like know how to talk about self-improvement.
No, he
Which
just
also,
knows.
I don't know if an album's the place to do that.
Yeah, I also don't think the stage show based on the movie, based on the album, is not where to do that either.
True.
Oh, man. We sailed right through that. Are you ready for the final, the fun record scratch section where I ask you silly questions that I come up with?
Sure.
All right. First one. We've been discussing the wall here today. So would you say you're in favor of the wall? Are your sentiments generally good about the wall?
We're talking about the album still, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not the border wall.
Damn it. God, you're too fucking smart. You're like, yeah, sentiments are good about the wall. Great. You heard it here first. Karl Spaeth says, build the wall. Fuck. This is the second time my bits have been thwarted on this show. It's going to become a segment in and of itself.
Yeah.
It's like
called softballs.
Damn it. Yeah, it is. It is a complete softball. Next question is a mini game.
Okay.
It's a mini game. It is Trump or Roger Waters. I'm going to name you 3 quotes, and you got to say whether it is Donald Trump or Roger Waters who said it.
I like this.
The first one, Joe Biden is a fucking slime ball that appeals to no one.
Trump.
Roger Waters.
What, really? Yeah, that's starting with a trick one. That's funny.
Yeah, Roger Waters, when he was lamenting the fact that the Democratic Party railroaded Bernie Sanders for no reason. Kind of a good take from Roger Waters.
I mean, I'm as a guy that doesn't like Joe Biden at all.
Right.
Pretty good take.
Yeah, good take.
Slime ball. That's funny. I guess that's not really
that's not a Trumpian phrase.
Not a Trumpism.
I know. Next up, show me someone with no ego and I'll show you a big loser.
I'm going to go Roger Waters on that one.
That one's Donald Trump. Yeah.
Loser is a Trumpism.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I thought it was another trick.
Yeah. I got you with that one. Final one. I was in the gym working my way back to a good right hook. How else am I supposed to fight back all the women throwing themselves at me?
I can't imagine Trump exercising.
But he always says how strong he is. He's like, I'm strong as an ox.
I mean, look at him. He's very strong.
Healthy as a horse. 6'2", 215.
Yeah, I don't need to see him exercising or imagine it because he's just a portrait of health.
Yeah, he's
and
just
strength.
strong. Yeah.
He's very strong.
Yeah, dear leader is always so strong.
Man, honestly, this is a hard one. I am going to go with Roger Waters, though.
That was Roger Waters.
right.
Congratulations. Ding, 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 ding.
Yay, I got 1 out of 3 right.
That was like, I came up with that mini game to only further my statement earlier that Roger Waters is Donald Trump if Donald Trump chose to be an artist.
Yeah, they're very similar takes, but
Yeah.
though Joe Biden one, I mean, he's coming from the right
Joe
place.
Biden one rocked. A fucking slime ball.
He's a fucking slime ball railroading Bernie Sanders like that.
The only socialist candidate of them in the mix, and they just tossed him aside. All right. Last record scratch question. Your Roger Waters' mom, please tell the audience what you would tell your special little boy after hearing this record.
It's been a while, but I think I need to change your little diaper, you little bitch.
Ba-dum-bum-bum.
You need to change. You need to get your mouth back on my titty.
Oh.
Suckle some of the mother's milk out of my titty.
I think in my head when I was writing that question, my response was like, I'm so proud of you. You're so special. Because that's what he wants to hear. That's what Roger Waters needs to hear.
Yeah, but I don't know if he needs to hear it
Your
from his
mommy's
mom.
special boy.
He seems like a guy with dad issues.
Yes. He mentions that it's because his dad died in World War II. He's like, my trauma started when I was only 5 months old when my dad was killed in World War II.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I don't want to downplay generational trauma. Like, I get it. But all at the same time, wow, that was such a pick-me way to start that.
All right. First of all, trauma doesn't exist. Here's my hot take.
Here's the thing. Trauma doesn't exist, and here's why it's your fault.
Roger Waters is a bitch.
All right, Karl, to wrap this up, go ahead and rate The Wall out of 10. And final thoughts.
I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's... The songs that are good on it are so good that it
Brings it up
outweighs
from a
some
5.
of the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, yeah, realistically, if it's like... If it's 3 songs... If the 3 songs that I love weren't on there, then I would be like a 2.
Right. I would trash this
Good.
album for sure if, like, Comfortably Numb didn't exist.
But it's like, how many tracks is it? It's like,
It's in the 20s, I think.
yeah, like 25,
Yeah.
maybe 30.
Yeah.
And like 10 of them are good.
Yeah.
Like, that's an insane
And the rest is
miss.
just noise.
What? And like, I love noise. I like truly do. Like, I like noise. I like
Right.
experimental music. I like just like, I like weird shit, but it's like so try-hardy and pointless.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason for it to exist other than
It
it's
needs
a
to be a
concept
film
album,
score.
so it has to be that.
Yeah.
So it's like, it doesn't feel like a film score. It feels like an overindulgent masturbatory thing.
Yep.
But the classic songs that are classics for a reason are why I give it a 7 out of 10.
I'd agree. I was thinking hovering around 6, but yeah, you're right. All right. So as a final thing, tell the people what you got going on. I know you have an album to plug. You got any shows coming up that you want to let the people know about?
I'll be at Go Bananas the first weekend in January with Blake.
Oh, nice.
So the 4th through the 7th, I believe.
Cool. Hell yeah.
And then I'm featuring my album Big Acid. The project is called Big Acid. The album's called The Loser King. It is out everywhere, but listen to it on Bandcamp because Spotify makes everything sound like shit. Or Apple Music is fine too.
All right.
And what else? Motormouth is every 4th Thursday at Motor Pub in Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati, Ohio's longest running comedy showcase.
Hell yeah. That sounds great. Thanks for having things to plug. Sometimes I have people on the show that are like,
Wait, and we're getting the sketch group Future Science back together for
Heyo.
a 10-year anniversary show, May 26th,
all right. Yeah.
2024, the Sunday before Memorial Day.
Perfect. Hell yeah.
And that'll be fun.
That will rock.
Yeah.
Those guys are funny.
Those guys were funny.
Those guys.
I'm one of those guys.
You're the other people in your crew.
Fuck you. Piece of shit.
Just holding you up. All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on.
Great. Yeah, I had a blast.
Yeah. Well, it's been all right.
I have to piss.
All right. Cool. That's it. Thanks, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. Carl's going to take a piss.
Thank you for having me.